George of the jungle, strong as he can be.
Okay, so how exactly did you come up with that square footage calculation? This is going to be part 2 of one that I did about sloping roofs. So thanks for coming into thecreditjungle.com today. This is George Anderson. And I did a video before in my son's home that he has sloping roofs, and we talked about, that you can't count all of it, but what percentage do you count and how do you make those measurements? This is another one where we get a lot of people that have questions about their appraisal and why the numbers are different. And so we're just going to use an example of where we have a 1,600 square foot Rambler that has got 3 bedrooms and 2 full baths on the main floor, and it has a basement, okay? Appraisers always use a term that is different from the way that real estate agents would sell the home and market the home. If there's a basement in that house, obviously you got 1,600 here, 1,600 there, they're going to be calculated, the real estate agent's going to sell that's a 3,200 square foot home, which in reality it is. But the GLA, which stands for gross living area of the home, is only calculated on what is called above grade square footage, okay? Now, if there's a basement, does that mean that there's no credit for the basement? Yes, there is credit for the basement. And by the way, on a single family residence, how do you measure that square footage? Is it based on the interior wall dimension or is it on the exterior? It's on the outside. So somebody who's got 1 foot thick walls, like an older home where it's limestone or something like that, there's actually going to be more square footage than what's available on the inside, because if you're taking an interior measurement, you'd be losing that full 1 foot perimeter there. But it's based on outside of the home. So that's why the basement is always going to have the same square footage as the upstairs, even though the walls are probably a little bit thicker. So anyway, so this basement finish here, is it based on the room count or is it based on the square footage or what percentage of the basement is finished? If somebody went down there and finished 50% of the basement and they put in 2 bedrooms and another bathroom, that home would be marketed by a real estate agent as 5 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, okay? What happens when the appraisal comes back? Okay, the appraiser comes back and he says, well, that's nice, but the GLA on this is actually a 3 bedroom, 2 bath home with a basement, not based on the room count, but it's based on the percentage of square footage that is finished. So he would say it's 50% finished basement. And then the square footage that is apportioned to the basement is less than what it would be for that which is above grade. So if we're going to use, say, 200 square feet above grade, finished basement might only be $50 a foot. This is going to vary from different parts of the country and everything else, so I'm just painting with a very broad brush here. But the room count isn't what matters. So in other words, if he had just gone down, if the homeowner had gone down and just basically put up sheetrock, put up electrical fixtures, put in lighting and put down carpet and painted it, no plumbing fixtures, nothing else, and they just had a big huge family room with like a theater room down there, that's still 50% finished. And it's not going to be worth any less money on an appraisal than somebody who put in the 2 bedrooms with closets and a full bathroom down there. Okay, so just something to keep in mind. And then here's a test question for you. If we have stairs coming from the upstairs to the downstairs, which floor gets the square footage for the staircase? Because obviously half of it's up, other half of it's down. The answer is the floor from which the stairs descend. So it would be the upstairs square footage there. Now, does that mean you're losing it in the basement? You're not, okay? But if you're looking at a 2-story home where you have stairs going to the upstairs, you get the square footage for the main floor because you're measuring the outside perimeter of the walls. But if the stairs are coming down, and a typical stairway entrance might be something like 4 feet wide and 10 feet long with the angle on there, that's another 40 square feet that gets assigned to the upstairs, which also is, if it's a 2-story home, that's also GLA that goes into the gross living area. So hopefully that explains things a little bit, and it would help you understand your appraisal and understand that these are uniform standards that every appraiser uses. It's not your appraiser picking on you. These are the appraisal standards that they're expected to follow. So anyway, thanks for coming into thecreditjungle.com today. This is George Anderson. Remember, you can push button, get Mortgage Professional, and I'd be happy to help you with any questions that you have. Have a great day.